What's happening, guys? It's Daniel from Top Floor, and we're so excited to present to y'all a new series, Top Floor Shopping, with Melbourne's very own GSN Williams.
My name's Godsway Williams, other known as GSN. I like to believe myself as a pop culture journalist. I cover everything from fashion, music, sports, and just the culture in general. So it's a blessing to be here and can't wait to get shopping.
Godsway, what's happening, Brody?
Not much, man. Excited to be here.
Ready to talk it up, talk some fashion, like?
And I'm excited, man.
Around?
Yeah, first time I'm being interviewed, so I'm excited.
Let's do it, bro. So you started blowing up on socials like 2-3 years ago, right? So what's that been like? You know, what got you into content?
I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I finished school. And I kind of had to look at myself and wondered, what am I actually good at? One things that I used to do in school, I used to write speeches. So public speaking was lit. And I love sports. So when I first started, I kind of was just talking about stuff that influenced me. I was talking about basketball stuff. I was talking about Virgil Abloh. Like, I was really young trying to get into it. And I just made it a habit of starting. Regardless of, I didn't know where my content was going to get to or what it was going to do. I just made sure to start posting videos, getting the knowledge and skills and learning with each video that I made. Once I started getting traction, it felt like, yeah, this was deserved, because I kind of been posting every day straight up for months and months and months and months. So when the success finally came, I felt like I was ready for it.
Because you're from Tassie, yeah? So you're probably one of the only people out there making content, especially about fashion and stuff.
Yeah, Tassie was a weird place. It was a melting pot of people that weren't really versed in that space. The way I like to describe Tassie in the fashion world and the culture world is that it's always 18 months behind. So Tassie right now are going through their jorts, Adidas Samba phase. We're like a time capsule that don't really get everything until the trend has already gone past. It has a lot of dope people, but at the same time, you can kind of find yourself in these online spaces. I grew up watching sneaker shopping, funnily enough. We're here, Top Floor shopping. But I consumed all that media, and that was a part of me. The only problem I had in Tasmania was there weren't many people like me. So when I finally moved to Melbourne and I saw there was a full store of the brands that I thought was so dope as a kid, it's so amazing to actually be able to touch them and access them. Yeah, man, shout out to people from the T.
Shout out Tassie, bro. You said like you were posting for months and months on end, and then, you know, when you finally blew up, you felt like you were ready for it. Like, what was that formula for you that worked? Was it the Steve Lacy dark red, or what was it?
I don't know what happened during that era, but every video that I posted hit 1 million views, which is dope. Not everything is down to the views, but getting that validation that like, okay, this is a banger concept, let me do it. When I first started to pick up traction, like I started getting stuff from Culture Kings started sending me stuff. I was like, yo, Culture Kings, that's crazy. It was special for me because I never really had a lot of money to buy things. I was like 18, fresh out of Tassie. Like, I didn't really have bread to buy things, and I was saving to move to Melbourne in the first place. So getting all these free clothing from all these brands that I respected when I was in Tassie was such an incredible thing for me. And it just pushed me to be like, okay, let's do the next thing. Like,
I know one of the first times you came to Top Floor at our old location, shout out Ricky, you were messing with brands like Needles and Shinya. How do you still feel about brands like these?
It's so crazy to see them get all the hype that they do now. I feel like most people in Melbourne rock with Needles, which is dope, because I kind of went, not to say that, I did it first, but I went through that phase as well, where when I was getting into fashion, I saw Needles pieces. I was like, oh, this is dope, like really wearable, out there, and it's kind of designer. And the price point for what they are is pretty dope. That kind of opened my eyes to other brands like Shinya. At the time, they were a little bit out of my style range, because I didn't have many shoes that I could rock with them or fits that would be worthy of these pants. But they kind of opened my eyes to be like, okay, you can go a bit out there.
Speaking of Shinya and that pleated style that they have, you obviously have your clothing brand, Fear No Evil. And I saw that you did the Bastion pant and the Koji pant. And you're talking, especially the Bastion pant, you're talking about this whole idea of, you know, the everyday pant. Tell us what the perfect everyday pant is.
Pant and jean, they all have their different purposes. Like for me, the perfect everyday jean are the ones that I got on right now. Like functionality, they have deep pockets, they're comfortable, and they seamlessly fit into your wardrobe. I didn't have to get anything else to pair with these jeans. And so to me, something that is a mainstay that you can slip in anywhere and put with any outfit is an everyday pair.
Talked a bit about fashion, streetwear, humble beginnings. We put together a rack of clothes for you, some of your favorite brands. Why don't we take a look?
Let's do it, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So this is the rack that we curated for you. We got brands like Needles, Shinya Kozuka, Martine Rose, Bape, Alpha Industries, which was a crazy pull. Wasn't expecting that. But yeah, man, I think you should have a look. See if you're messing with it.
Man, I'm excited.
I think you will.
Capital. I don't even know where you pulled this from. This is crazy. This is a crazy fit. I feel like Martine Rose, if I was like a high fashion designer, I would love to be doing what she's doing, because her whole brand, she's really playing off cultural references of her childhood and stuff like that. And I feel like I'm not too far from what she's talking about. And so seeing some of the plays on football that she does, I kind of get them, I understand them. Like, bro, I grew up with this stuff. So she kind of means a lot to me in that regard, and what she does and her cultural commentary kind of inspires me to do what I do.
Obviously, we have brands like Mason Margiela, Acne Studios, and Helmut Lang. How has your preferences like for these higher brands evolved over time? Like, would you say you're more into this stuff now? Like,
I think for me, as I've grown, I've kind of fallen in love with designers and their ideas. Helmut Lang's ideas about how he communicates fashion through his brand is something that I mess with. And now that I'm researching, I'm finding out more and more I like thinking like him. He takes from these timeless things, recontextualizes it into like a uniform sort of feel with his garments, and doesn't really do much with logos and things like that. But that way of thinking, going down the rabbit hole and finding his collections and what he did for menswear in the 90s was incredible. And the more I learn and the more I realize that it's not only the clothes that they create, but the ideas that they're pushing forward and the stuff that they did at that time, it kind of makes me respect the brands a whole lot more. Even brands like Alpha Industries, I love vintage military, I love vintage Ralph Lauren. And so what Alpha Industries have done, going from manufacturing these things to now straight up making fashion pieces and collabing with fashion brands, is so dope. And a jacket like this is like, this will never go out of style to me. I know bomber jackets and stuff like that had their run a few years ago, but
dude, it's timeless, yeah?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was not expecting bro to say Alpha Industries, but like, game is game, you know?
Helmut Lang, his design language inspiring people like Raf Simons, who we know now have gone and influenced so many things in today's day and age, like the Oswego, Sam Smith and stuff like that. But his design language in the 2000s and stuff like that were so influential, you know what I mean? This is crazy. I didn't even see the back. This jacket is crazy.
So obviously you've been in this content game for a while now. What's been like the biggest challenge for you?
How much time it takes, because my videos aren't as simple as just like point, shoot, post. It's a whole lot of editing, it's a whole lot of research, scripting, and getting correct information really, because I'm talking on other people's childhoods and stuff that they grew up on. So yeah, once you get to a stage where you're creating content for other people, brands, and you try to be multifaceted, like you're working with your own brand, you're helping with consultancy and other places, your own personal life kind of gets blurred between all of that, because if your phone is work, how can you really escape your work? You know what I mean? Exactly. You know, it's just time and dedicating yourself to it. It's like anything. If you really, really want it, it's not going to be a problem to chase after it, spend late nights doing it.
What does a space like top floor mean to you? Because I swear when you first came in, like, you would have just like recently moved here, yeah?
Yeah. I didn't even realize, like I knew Melbourne would have things like that. I've been to places like Marai and stuff and saw Tabbies and for the first time. I was like, oh, this is cool, but this is all like full price. Like, this is crazy. But a spot like this that's run by young people, run by people that are aligned to the same things as me, mess with the same brands as me, and supply things that I really mess with, was so huge for me and my learnings. To learn more about brands and discover them and see different like techniques that are applied on clothing and the art, and really respecting that is huge for someone like me because I just want to see, access, and understand as many things as possible.
You know, you're working with Complex and like other big brands. What's been like the most memorable experience for you?
There's two moments. One was the first time I was doing interviews, and talking in your room to a camera is a whole different vibe to speaking to a bunch of drunk people at a festival. So on the day I interviewed Skepta, I was at Listen Out, and for 3 hours, I was just talking to people. And you kind of on the fly learn how to approach different conversations, speak to different people. And so after cold approaching people for 3 hours and having 40 plus interviews, you kind of get nullified to any embarrassment or no's.
Yeah.
So when you do finally get to interview Skepta, that was probably the easygoing interview because I felt like I knew him already. I knew him already. And so I had questions prepared for him. And the second one was with Nike, my first trip overseas with a brand. We went to Tomasol, incredible event. The Nike team, all Nike teams really, Oceania, Asia, Latin America, and US were all there. The energy, being around a space like that, and being the youngest one there, you take so much learnings from the people that are around you. And yeah, first time being overseas, and you're just this kid that comes from Tasmania.
Shout out Godsway for being our very first guest on Top Floor Shopping. He picked up blue Capital denim jacket. Enjoy the goods, man.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, brother.
Cool with you, man.
All love.
Shout
Shout
out.
out Top Floor, baby.